Hello everyone and welcome to the Ghost 4v4 Search and Destroy. It is myself, Lando, guiding you guys through the action tonight as we're already hopping in here to our winners round 1 matchup where we got WestCoastLove going up against whyRN. Currently, like I said, in round number 1, not just in the overall bracket, but as well in the first map. Of course, if you look at the top team, the top team right now, we've got whyRN, that is Quavo Steve, Quavo Lou, Parasite, and Baldy. Parasite and Lou currently in a 2-on-4 versus crew of Twerk, Diz, Believe, and MV Powers. Essentially 2 MVPs. We get MV Parasite and MV Powers. Looks like Holly Diz able to shut down Parasite, so 1-on-2 right now for Lou to start us off. And this whyRN team, they're actually in the, if you guys did watch the broadcast from last week, where we also did a Ghost 4v4 S&D, Team whyRN was a part of that. 3/4 of the players still returning here. Kenny being subbed out for Baldy in the situation. And Baldy obviously making a good impact so far in this first round. Finding 2 kills. Quavo. Lou able to find another. 1-on-1. And Diz. That pistol up top. Watching over. Pushing her back over to Lou. He doesn't have a whole lot of time. Bomb is not in his hands, and Diz should be able to win this round pretty easily. He's just going to hold the angle and be able to win this round, so thankfully for him, nothing really does come of that. So just like that, first round already going to be in the books, and really not even a kill is going to be needed. As we're going to hop on board here with Diz's perspective. Rocking the sniper rifle, going to be going through bottom strip at the moment. Going to watch that cross. No smokes yet, and there they are. Here comes the smokes. Wallbang potential coming in there from Diz, but nothing going to be home, at least to start us off. Lou, nice angle, but ends up getting dropped. Twerk checks that angle very, very well and finishes him off for the first blood. Twerk as well is no stranger to Ghost, especially when it comes into UMG Online tournaments. Actually played last week as well in the Ghost 4v4 S&D. Played with Gold Blood, and ended up finishing second just below C2C. And I believe most of the C2C crew is also in this tournament as well. So a lot of returning players. I think Hunnit's in this one. Of course, Infam as usual is in this one as well. Should make for a very, very fun tournament to say the least. Baldy, 1-on-3. Goes for that little jump shot there over top and isn't able to make anything come of it. However, there was one person that you'd like to be in a 1-on-3 situation from the side of whyRN. It would be him. Finding one player, and actually, nice headshot there coming in from Baldy. Tosses out the stun, and thing is, or actually the smoke, excuse me. There's one player on the flank right now. One player watching from the front. That's all he does. Wins the gunfight. Doesn't even need the player on the flank. The pinch would have came through most likely, and Powers would have been there for the stoppage. However, Diz able to make it happen himself. Decent effort, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. Good song quotes. Good song quotes. But yes, should be a very fun night, to say the least. Always fun to hop on board with some boots on the ground action. Everyone getting super hyped for the World War II beta. Take number 2, really. And feel free to obviously leave in the chat below if you guys enjoy the World War II beta, some of your excitement for World War II beta, or anything that you'd like to see when it comes to the UMG Online tournament. Feel free to let us know that information, as we are desperately and very excited, actually, awaiting the arrival of some Call of Duty World War II. Trying to get some streams going for you guys shortly as well. As Baldy, yet again in clutching situations, finds one, gets 2 actually, and now Believe is left in a situation where it's all in his hands. Baldy most likely not spotting him on the cross, but might have due to the angle that he's checking. ADSing, and yet again another situation where the bomb is not in his hands. Thankfully it is going to be in a spot where it'd be easily grabbable. And Believe just going to kind of hold this middle angle. And really what he's doing at this point is just trying to get as much of a line set on the entire map as possible. As long as he can kind of get like a little bit of an idea as to what's going on through mid-map, he kind of judges the angles. He realizes that, hey, he's not mid-map right now, so he's got to be on one side or the other. And he's obviously making the assumption, and the correct assumption as well, that he is going to be back B somewhere. Baldy goes back to pick up the bomb and hasn't really made a whole lot of progress as far as moving his way around the map, and Believe should be able to win the gunfight for such reason. But no, Believe fires some shots, gets caught on the tank, and now he's getting ready to get challenged, and Baldy is going to clutch the round. Baldy's in the middle of defusing, receives shots, and is not convinced he wants to rush this man. And the kill will come in return, a 1v3 for Baldy, a round that he never should have won. Oh, Believe. Oh, my. That hurts. That hurts, especially this early. This early. Baldy clutching it up 6-2 after just 3 rounds as we head in here to the 4th one. And Believe they're going to go and give this man the bomb. Give this man the bomb. He should be on a nice little flank, but no, he doesn't catch the angle fast enough. He might have heard maybe the footsteps making their way up towards 2nd story. Might have spotted the player toward that back tank as well, and there it is. Baldy shuts down Believe for the 2nd round in a row. A little bit of a different circumstance. And now it's going to be Diz left up in a 1-on-4 scenario. A lot of players having to clutch in early rounds. Baldy proving that it's definitely possible. Diz on the other side. Kind of a waving the white flag scenario in this case. Just too many players surrounding this area. 3 kind of guarding around this B-bomb site. And Baldy yet again actually finding 2 kills, I believe, in this round. Finding the ending one and the early one there on Believe. So with that, 2 rounds apiece for the moment. As I'm curious to see how some of these early rounds go. We end up having quite a few pro players, honestly, actually playing in the tournament last week. Of course, the exact same format. Like I said, it goes 4v4 S&D. And we saw a lot of them go out in the early rounds. And I'm curious to see if Parasite's crew, who ended up staying pretty far, they were one of the longer-lasting teams when it came down to the tournament last week. But how are they going to fare off when it comes down to this one? Long shots, actually, speaking of Parasite, with the Vector toward Broken Building, but can't finish that one off. But I'm curious to see as future rounds do commence, well, pro players do stay alive. Of course, you get a lot of practice when it comes into World War II, being able to play that beta, get some of that gameplay under their belt. And it looks like, looking through the eyes of Baldy right now, he's obviously had a very all-star performance up to this point, definitely guaranteeing his team the 2 rounds they have gained. This is going to be another task. 2-on-3. Lou with a sniper rifle watching bottom pond, finds that one. Baldy just around the corner to his right would be another player, finishes him off as well. Twerk. Thermal in hand. Misses that snipe somehow. Not exactly sure how that one missed, but he's able to make the 2nd one count. Takes out Baldy, the one guy that you definitely needed to take out. And now it could be a sniping battle to close out this 1-on-1. Twerk has the advantage due to being on the defensive side. And Lou, bomb is down. He's not even going to check. He's just going to kind of hold this angle and hope he can find Twerk checking. But Twerk, he doesn't mind at all. No big deal. And he's going to win the round for it in the end. What a interesting scenario we had there where Twerk and Lou kind of going back and forth, kind of just debating and saying, I'm going to check the bomb. Are you going to check the bomb? No, man. Not going to check the bomb at all. Kind of a little bit of a bluffing situation. And Twerk wins the round by not firing a single bullet at the end. As overall it was, I believe, a 2-on-3 scenario that was clutched out. Nice shot there from Twerk. My goodness. I didn't even see him come back to the camera angle. Finds that kill. Parasite's already down. And Believe, granted, he hasn't really been able to get it going when it comes down to the kills, but is still doing his job when it comes down to the objective. Spots at least one player toward that mid-map. Jumps across just for good measure to make sure he's not going to be called out. Got a fight. Finds that one on Quavo Steve. 2-on-3 scenario. It looks like another kill's going down. Actually, looks like Baldy finds another group of kills. And is able to stay alive only for the time. MV Power shuts him down shortly after that. And Lou spots an angle on, I believe that was Diz. So Holly Diz, currently bomb, gets planted down. Checking every angle right now is Lou. While you like to say he does have quite a few seconds, the time quickly starts to dwindle. Picks up a Remington off the ground, only has 15 overall bullets, only 3 right now, so he definitely needs to go for the reload if he expects to close this one out. Not looking the most likely. And he's going to get an awkward timing there, and in the end, it's going to be MB Powers who shuts him down. It's kind of like a silence vector? Is that a silence vector from Powers? Or am I just crazy? I'm just crazy, apparently. I could have swore that sounded like a silence vector. I was going to say, new meta toward the end of Ghost. The game is like 4 years old, but apparently metas can still develop. But I'm just crazy, apparently. As we're now going to be up 4 rounds to 2. Despite the heroics that we've seen from Baldy, it's not led to a whole lot of round victories since then. As the last 2 rounds have gone over toward the side of whyRN, trying to prove that they are a team who can advance in back-to-back tournaments at the very least. Parasite yet again shut down for the first blood. Diz shutting it down with a sniper rifle. And Lou, Steve, Baldy, Twerk, all of them getting involved in that kill feed. Half the lobby already dropped. As Twerk shuts down Baldy, it's now left up to Steve. One that's going to be top broken right now, and unfortunately gets some COD timing there. And this is what I talk about when you cast Ghost and when you watch Ghost. Of course, I've been able to kind of spectate it as of recent. You see how often COD timing really exists when it comes down to Ghost. And I think it honestly has to do to maybe the colors not being as bright when it comes into Infinity Ward games. Colors aren't as bright as maybe even Treyarch or Sledgehammer games. So it definitely is pretty telling. You see quite a few moments of COD timing, and players just don't spot another one. And the graphics, of course, have improved over time, to say the least. A lot of moments going down as Lou shuts down Twerk, and just like that, Diz, perfect timing, spots one, and is able to back up, making this one even. But just as that happens, Steve is there to respond, most likely hearing a call out from a teammate there is Diz, as he shows a pre-fire on one. But it's up to Diz and Believe to try to close this one out. Baldy and Co. having some issues. Believe spots one, actually gets the explosion there and shuts down Parasite. Believe spots another one, picks him off as well. This one could be looking a little bit different. Baldy now, 1-on-2 scenario for the Ghost crew, and he's going to need to clutch this one out desperately. Like I said, he's done it before. He could do it again. Might try to breach the wall. Wouldn't be the smartest thing to do, but still could. Pressure of this first map is on his shoulders. If he loses this one, map 1 goes over to WestCoastLove. Spots the angle, actually gets a hit marker. That's such an unfortunate hit marker regardless. It was Believe who was there. I think Believe even finds maybe at least 3 kills in that round to seal things here in round number 1. So, of course, this one going to go over toward the side of WestCoastLove as they take this one in a pretty dominant fashion, to say the least. 6 rounds to 2, as they, like I said, are going to be going up 1-0. And, of course, like highlight plays for the opposite side was Holly Diz dropping 8 and 3 and TMT Twerk dropping 8 and 6. Look for those guys to try and bring things back in the next match. But I believe our next map is going to be S&D on Warhawk. Personally, one of my favorites. I'm a huge fan when it comes to Go Search and Destroy, like basically every other person in the Call of Duty community. So this one should be an interesting one to watch. whyRN, they had a dominant performance when it came down to the last tournament that we had this past week in the exact same format, Goes 4v4 S&D, but they found themselves in a 0-1 deficit with S&D on Warhawk, like I said, coming up next. Feel free to leave your predictions down in the chat. I'm personally looking at WestCoastLove to probably take this one in a 2-0, but hey, anything can obviously happen. Guys, we're going to head to a commercial break. Like I said, map number 2 between WestCoastLove and ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Ghost 4v4 S&D only. We're currently in winners round 1. We've got WestCoastLove going up against whyRN. We're heading to some Warhawk Search and Destroy after reflecting on our last game. Of course, it was WestCoastLove taking that one at 6 rounds to 2. So feeling pretty confident right now, I've got to imagine, are those boys. And it looks like a few players already dropping Twerk, finding 2. And looks like right now, Quavo Steve just trying to silence the early dominance in this round. And just like that, only a few seconds is all it took. That's going to be the side of WestCoastLove taking round number 1. Both Twerk and Believe coming in with highlight plays of their own. Both finding a pair. As first round will go their way. Warhawk, personally, fairly one-sided. I think it's fair to say when it comes down to this match. You're not going to see too many hits when it comes over toward that B site. Unfortunately, it's not one that's, or certainly not toward that A site. Not one that's too friendly, to say the least, but you will see quite a few sniper shots. A lot of attention when it comes down to that. And like I said, 95% of the time it's going to be a nice little B hit. But it looks like gunfight getting ready to take place. Believe shuts down at Quavo Steve. Lou shutting down Believe, and Twerk trying to find some extra shots, and player just toward his right can't finish that one off. And Powers, after her making a rotation over toward A, just trying to watch that potential cross, is actually going to be out of flank here. So they're going to search out this entire site, try to find any or every angle that he could possibly be in. But in reality, he's on the flank right now, and he does have a Remington. They're watching the right angle, and unfortunately, I'd say that wasn't the best trigger discipline in the world, but could have asked for a better scenario. Get some hit markers through the fence, but he's trying to dip and dodge as much as possible. There are 3 players alive, and he's just going to kind of go to no man's land. Tries to make a push, but in the end, it's not going to work out. Solid effort there for Powers, but in the end, not going to be enough. Lou holding a nice head glitch with the Vector. It's still crazy to see how powerful the Vector really is. It literally takes 3 bullets at any range. Pretty crazy, to say the least. I'm going to be looking at Twerk, I think, when it comes in this next round. I'm curious to see how this man can obviously perform. Obviously, his team is up 1-0, and he seems to be like a major factor when it comes down to his teammates or his rosters on Ghosts having a dominant performance in map 1. Looking to try and replicate that. As Parasite finding the first blood, Diz quickly to be shut down. And it looks like Parasite getting tagged up there from the nade. Trying to respond on a few more. 2-on-4 scenario. To work with that Vector in hand, looking just inside bricks, trying to spot anyone he possibly can. Power's not too far behind. It looks like a little bit of a rotation over toward A, maybe a sight check, just maybe a little bit of an angle, maybe even a flank taking place, and just like that, whySteve shuts down Twerk, and that rotation here over toward A is going to be one that should work out in their favor. This is going to be a very difficult site to try and retake, as it looks like whySteve is going to join the fray. I'm sure if Powers could, or even if there is a spot to jump off the map, this would be the time to do it. It's really only about kills at this point. Every single player finding 2, and who's going to get the third one? Who's going to add that one to the arsenal? I'm not sure Steve was shooting back toward the end of that gunfight. Regardless, Powers will take that one. Pistol out, I believe that is, I think that's Parasite. Yeah, Parasite with the pistol in hand. And he's just going to run right at, oh, I see, okay. They're just going to run right at him. Lou is going to shut down Powers. As they'll make quick work of him. Tagging him up, shutting him down. I was going to say, if try to shoot through that fence, he can't wallbang that, just to let everyone know. Can't actually wallbang through that fence. As we look on board here with Powers to start off this next one. Currently it is going to be a set of whyRN, who's up 2 rounds to 1. I believe trying to hold this angle here on a truck, firing some shots away, and just like that, 3 players already dropping here early on in this round number 4. Steve trying to hold an angle here just toward the side of that fence. Spots 1 player coming out of bricks and makes slight work of him. Now it's up to Diz. A man who's been dominant with a sniper rifle spots 1 player. Might be able to spot the second. Not sure if he saw that angle or not, but has an idea of at least where 1 player would be, and these 2 guys are both holding an angle right now. They're both kind of sitting in the same line sight. Diz shuts down 1, but thankfully, if you are the side of whyRN, you had 1 player who thought maybe it would be a good idea to jump out of this building. Maybe there could be someone on the flank. And that random bit of intuition is going to work out in their favor as Steve pops up now here toward 5 kills. 5-3 after just 4 rounds of play. And it looks like a little bit of the tides have changed a little bit from the side of whyRN. Of course, losing that first map, only gaining 2 rounds, and after only 4 in the second map, they've already beat their entire total from the first one. So there'll be some signs of life, maybe even a sign of a game 3 potentially, as this round number 5 would be huge for their overall confidence, making sure that they can go up 4 rounds to 1, having at least 3 separating them. That'd be big. In the end, as Parasite unfortunately gets shut down for the first blood. Baldy trying to find a little Kobe nade as 2 players start to wrap back around. And what's the play call in this scenario? What's the play call right now for whyRN? They've already made that push toward A. Shots coming in. It looks like someone was over on those fences. I think that was Believe. Might try to go for a little bit of a rush now. Pulls out or has the Vector in hand, and it looks like whySteve spotted someone coming out toward mid-streak. Shuts down 1. His position is known. 3-on-3 right now. whySteve on a 4 streak. Or 4 spree, whichever one. It's combined words. And it looks like players coming from the side. Lou shuts down Believe in that exchange. Could find another. Baldy with a bomb in hand. Making a rush forward. He is able to wallbang that, though. Nice intuition. Player just toward his right, toward Water Tower, and he shuts him down as well. Nice centering there, actually coming in from Baldy. As I want to see this one happen again. So he spots one, obviously gets the nice little kill through the wall, and nice intuition to turn just toward the right. He knows he has to be coming from at least 1 of 2 angles from the one that he was holding, and nice little medium to jump shot there. Or a prone shot, excuse me, as that'll guarantee a 4th round already. So a dominant victory for the side of West Coast Love and map number 1. And right now, we could be seeing a similar result, but in this case, it's now whyRN who's in the driver's seat. As Holly is making a little bit of a nice rush here. Clips out one toward the back tank. Good response in the end, as it's now going to be a 3-on-3, just as I say that. whySteve shutting down one. Parasite fronting another. And as Diz makes his rotation here over toward A. He's wondering what just happened to my teammates. He's going to need an ace in this round. To finish this one off, he's found 2 already. Can he find the next 2? And he's not going to be able to do that. whySteve making a big impact when it comes down to this game. This map, rather. Nice little angle here. Nice little angle there as he's able to finish off that final kill. 5 rounds to 1 at the moment. As we'll see potentially what the side of whyRN can do. They're feeling good, you'd like to imagine. It's whySteve gonna hop right here on the nice little truck. Now over here toward that billboard. It looks like he could be spotting a few players. A decent line sight, realizes he could be spotted really out from any angle. And Parasite still with that sniper rifle in hand. Just over that picket fence. Could have spotted someone, but they actually could be going for the rotation here, which they've done in the past. This wouldn't be an off angle, and Holly Diz, after making a offensive rush here to try to check the angle, is going to be all too familiar with this site, and Lou makes him pay. Beautiful shot there from Lou, and he's going to let him know. Absolutely destroys him in the end, as it's now going to be a 2-on-4 scenario. Instead of West Coast Love, this is not going to be easy. Looks like Torque currently sitting at 3 and 6, MV Powers at 1 and 5. It looks like one player could be called out. Powers should shut one behind the tank. 30 seconds left. Wallbang trying to come in here through that fence, and it's not going to go through. Parasite still. Sniper rifle out. Gets the hit marker. Shots coming in with the pistol, not going to go through. Twerk shuts down Parasite, and now Lou toward the back. Twerk now left in a 1-on-2 scenario. This is important. This is for the game, and unfortunately, he's going to drop as well. And just like that, we see a 6-1 round victory here for the side of whyRN. And not a result that I was at all expecting. I was already talking about myself. I was thinking, this is going to be most likely a win for West Coast Love. They end up taking S&D on Octane for map number 1, 6-2. And then the whyRN saying, hey, you can do that. We can do something a little bit better. We're going to beat you 6 rounds to 1 instead of 6 rounds to 2. So strong performances there coming in from the whyRN side, as we are already set for a map 3 here. After actually, he's done pretty well. Actually, I've been able to spectate Baldy. I think he played pretty well even in their loss for map number 1. So we'll see how he does, continuing in here to win it matters most. whySteve has been a big influencer, kind of guiding the bomb right now, babysitting the bomb carrier right now, which of course is Baldy getting that one down. Steve holding this angle. His shots already beginning to take place. No kills as of yet. Powers firing a few across the map. This Parasite could be getting in a nice engagement here to start things off. Finds one, but as that happens, Swerk finding a kill on the opposite side. As the retake begins, Baldy immediately be left all by his lonesome. Powers is able to find one before departing us, but it looks like one player's already going to be on the bomb. A nice turn on, but there, Holly Diz is already going to be on the defuse. Can I get this one? Yes! So despite a nice turn on there coming in from Baldy, Holly Diz playing it smart, goes immediately for the defuse. Most likely was calling that one out to his teammates, saying, hey, you'll get the kill. This shouldn't be a problem, and I'll go and hop in the defuse. But no, the turn on happens from Baldy. But overall, it's a smarter play coming in from the side of whyRN that guarantees them the round. So, wow, that's pretty interesting to say the least. Holly Diz, after using smarts in that last round to grab the defuse, he's going to be the man with bomb carrier in his hands. Of course, he's pounded the digits already. He could do it again. Baldy already taking down after probably a little bit of negative comms coming out of him, I'd like to imagine, as of right now. Finding himself at that respawn screen first. Parasite's left in a 1-on-4 scenario. Awkward spot for him as he's quickly going to be shut down as well. So 2 rounds already for the side of West Coast Love. Feeling pretty good right now is Holly Diz. he will shut down the final player. 1 on 4 for Parasite. Not an easy situation, especially being over inside of control, as he will be picked off there at the end. So with that, how will Parasite kind of guide the crew for right now? How will he guide the Quavo and Baldy lineup? He had the entire Quavo crew last week, and they obviously had a pretty decent performance. I believe they ended up losing to Hunnit in like winners round 3, so they've obviously played, like I said earlier, in a few of these Ghost tournaments here on UMG Online. Steve right now checking bottom room, checking just outside as well. He's going to gain some line sight, finds one player, and he's able to finish that one off. So immediately, a 1-on-2 right now for Twerk as he finds one. Finds another potentially, but no. Quavo Steve is going to be here. As he does pick up the bomb up off his teammate, and doesn't really need to plant that one down. Quickly to finish that player off. Rounds the corner. Exactly where Twerk is sitting. Shuts him down there in the end. So a much needed round if you are the side of whyRN. You can't go down 3-0 versus a team like WestCoastLove. Both these teams really can't get too far away from one another. They can't afford to be down 3 or 4 rounds just due to the fact of what we've seen both of them do actually in our first 2 matches. They've completely taken over when it comes down to that. Take a look really quick at where Quavo Lou was going. He's going to go for a very, very fast rush. B-site, definitely what you're going to be looking at quite a bit when it comes down to your offensive teams here for some Sovereign. One currently making their way underground right now is Twerk. He does have that bomb in hand, so if he was to die in the situation, or tries to go on a flank, and granted, if he even finds a kill, that bomb placement is going to be very, very awkward for him. And that's exactly what I was talking about. 2 drop, and at the same time, Parasite shuts down Believe. Diz and Powers left in an awkward position as Diz takes some shots. Powers taking some shots as well. Both players' locations are going to be known. At least an ideal angle of where those would be at. Diz currently cooking an nade, tries to toss that one up. Did he get the timing right? Unfortunately does not. Has some line sights, can't even shut down Lou as he will make him pay, and Powers can get picked off there on the bomb as well as Lou will find the final 2. Speaking of 2s, that's where we're at right now. 2-2 overall. It's a nice shot there coming in from Lou. 2s and Lou. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm already starting off weird. Regardless, we're heading into round number 5. We are tied up. This is exactly how game number 1 started. And that's when WestCoastLove kind of took over. So when it comes into defense, they're definitely on the more preferred side, have at least an idea as to where that bomb is going to be moving. Most likely going to be here over in B as Powers tosses over that pre-nade. Stuns as well. No information gained as of yet. And you've got one player kind of sitting on the opposite side watching that flank. That is going to be Diz. So currently have that position locked down. They're imagining that push is coming here over toward B as Parasite finds that first blood. And let's see where Parasite was sitting at. It looks like he was sitting back railing. So you'd still like to imagine that a B push would be taking place. And that's exactly how the lineup for players is going as Diz is going a little bit of a ride. Hops in here toward Nest and is not going to gain any information. So he's thinking maybe that push could be making its way over toward A. Just when you start to think that that push toward B, a normal one, will be making its way forward. That's when the rotation takes place. Diz, nade out, only hit markers. That's got to be frustrating. Regardless, Twerk shuts down Baldy. Here comes the retake. It's able to find one. So that gunfight, decent line sight there from Lou, but in the end, a trade will come of it. Twerk just toward his right. Player is just proning right there. Should spot the feet. Don't tell me he's going to... Oh, no. He loses the gunfight, but Parasite's there. Oh, man. I don't want to see that. That hurts. You can kind of see like what exactly happens there. That oracle through the wall tells the story. Parasite's going to be there, and that's not a round that WestCoastLove would like to repeat. That's now going to be 3 rounds to 2. Looks in favor of whyRN at the moment. So we will see a offensive hit here for WCL. I just made that. Not sure if it's going to be a thing. Believe finding Quavo Lou for the first blood. A nade getting met here pretty early on as Twerk finds one on Parasite. So a round that I talked about would not like to be duplicated. We could be seeing inside of WestCoastLove responding pretty well. Powers player just toward his left doesn't spot the angle long enough, and it looks like Steve. Excuse me, I'm on the board with Steve. Steve not able to find that player just toward his left. Should be able to find that one, so believe is dropped. One positive right now for Steve is that he is on the defensive side, and just as I say that, that bomb does go down. So just as I start to speak about that advantage, goes down the drain, as well as the likelihood of the round going in his favor. So 3 rounds to 3. It's going to be Diz finding the final kill. Diz securing that one. Currently sitting at 4 and 3. And speaking of 1 4s and 3s, it's actually his clan tag. Interesting enough. As the players to be looking at right now, Powers currently sitting at 6 and 4 for his team, 5 and 4 right now for Parasite, 5 and 5 for Lou. Quick shots being exchanged here as the push toward A could be one that happens, but Twerk is able to find another pre-nade. A lot of pre-nades happening when it comes down to Sovereign. As Baldy also drops there, Twerk finding him. And now Quavo Lou making his way up here through the ladder. Desperately need to find a kill. Lou and Parasite cannot afford to either of them for them to go down in this next engagement. Lou has to find this kill. Not able to find that one. Believe will shut him down. Cruising that total now 3 kills. And Parasite's going to be found there in the end from Diz. So with that, 4 rounds to 3. Closest game we've had yet. And the closest game we will see in this series. Like I said, first game 6-2 for the side of WestCoastLove. Second game to whyRN, they won that one 6-1. And of course, if you guys haven't caught the gist as of yet, these are best of 3, so this is the final map. And we're only in winners round 1, so it's never fun to go out this early, especially in a game 3. However, Ghost is not friendly. If you find a team to go up against, got a lot of solid squads in this 4v4. Is Diz prowling his way right now here over toward the B site, receiving some shots from that back right side. Quickly goes for the gun engagement, and he drops as well, so that bomb is down. Not a rush that you'd like to see from your bomb carrier, but regardless, Believe going to pick up the pace as he'll find one, so the trade comes in, a much-needed trade, so a 2v4 only for a second. It would still count as a clutch, though. Still looking at Believe's perspective. Going to switch over to Powers to see what he's looking at right now. Most likely spotted that player toward back railing. You like to expect that he would, as Believe shuts him down, so he most likely did. So with that 2-on-2 scenario, we're back to even. Parasite playing this angle ever so carefully. It's just as that happens, Quavo Steve shuts down Believe. Powers is here, and he ends up getting shut down. So a nice idea, a good start, a potential 2-on-4 clutch. Tries to come into play, but in the end, Powers, Parasite, too strong. Or excuse me, Powers, not strong enough. Parasite and Steve are in fact the more powerful duo, as we're now going to be up here at 4 rounds apiece. Heading into round number 9. This one is very, very huge when it comes down to the landscape of how this series will go. Looking through the eyes of Baldy right now. He's got the bomb in his hands. If whyRN can win this offensive round, that would be big because they only have to win 1 more defense to close it out. This could be the last offensive round of their entire search and destroy match as Baldy quickly trying to get that bomb down. This would be huge, but he ends up taking hit markers from that frag, and his teammates dropped. He could be hearing the footsteps of that player just toward his right. As he will back up. I do hear that call out there as Diz shuts down yet again another kill. Shutting down Parasite in this instance. Trying to find the third. I believe that's Diz currently sitting up through Nest as Believe shuts down Baldy, and just like that, Lou, 1-on-3 scenario, and he's not going to be able to stay alive for much longer either. So a huge round there coming in from the side of WestCoastLove, as they're now going to be up 5 rounds to 4. We got 3 players currently sitting at 7 kills, and Believe sitting at 6. That is exactly what you want to see. You want to see consistency out of a team. And that's the reason why WestCoastLove currently in the driver's seat. As we're going to see the L11 come out from Powers. Of course, got the P226 in the back pocket. Looking for the pre-snipe. Not going to be home, at least for now. But spots the player just toward the right. Can he find that one? Nope. Not going to find it to start off this game. Parasite, though, shutting down Twerk to start this game off. Start this round off, rather. And only one more needed for the side of WestCoastLove to shut down this entire series and send Parasite and crew packing. Back to the wager grind. 4v4 child grind, potentially, if they end up losing this round. Parasite still holding here through middle spots. At least one player, so he's going to call that one out to his other two teammates. They're currently live right now. Parasite trying to do it all. Finding 2 kills. Just as that happens, Lou ends up dropping. Powers and Believe still in a position where the man at disadvantage. Bomb is down. And they're trying to hold down the site. Powers ends up turning down Parasite. Guavo Steve coming from the top. I thought he could have spotted that player through the Oracle, but gets the knife. Finds at least one player just around the corner, but no, he gets knifed as well. So bringing knives to gunfights end up working in some ways. And Powers, can he find the gunfight? But no, Baldy is there. Baldy wins the gunfight. And that looked like it was going to be a 2-on-4 clutch, but no, Baldy was there. He finds the kill. And we are headed to a round 11. What is this series? What is this series? Map number 1 is 6-2 in favor of WestCoastLove. Map number 2 is 6-1 in favor of whyRN. And we head to map number 3, and we're going to see another dominant victory. No, we're going to see a round 11. No sense at all. Regardless, it is going to be the side of whyRN who find themselves on offense. A streak of luck in that last round as they'll gladly take at least a round 11. Trying to stay alive for as long as possible. As we'll take a look at what WestCoastLove is doing at the moment. When it comes in other defensive strats, Believe. It's a risky angle to hold, high risk, high reward. Just as that happens, Powers ends up dropping. Guavo Steve finding that kill. And Bomb goes down as well. That is huge. 3v4 retake is going to be needed. Make it a 2-on-4 retake. Holly Diz not in a position to find any kills right now. Twerk going to have to go big. He's going to have to check every angle. He should get spotted. Actually finds one through the wall. Big kill coming in from Twerk. He's around the corner. Can he find this one as well? No, gets the hit markers, but Holly Diz is there to respond. 1-on-2. 20 seconds left. Diz. What can you make happen? Spots one on the stairs. Shuts down Lou. Steve, you better not check this. Steve, do not check this, Steve. Regardless, Steve checks it. And he will secure the victory for the side of whyRN as we do see a round 11. Game 3. And my, a 1-on-1 to close things out. To say